Sarah, I think you could start recording. Perfect, thank you. That's excellent timing. Like to call our meeting of the Ocean Shores Radio Board together and start out with a roll call. For board members, please.
Rosanna.
Thank you, Rosanna.
Daryl Pross is here.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Daryl. And I am here, Marty Hadfield. Thank you. Okay, we have our present board members present on the call. And it's time for approval of meeting agenda. I would like to offer an amendment that would include a change from where we are right now, what's on our existing agenda. So I would like to hear a motion from either Daryl or Rosanna to amend the meeting agenda to include a vote under our bylaws, Article 9, regarding amending the bylaws with subsequent submittal to the City Council for approval. And the portion of our bylaws that I would like to see modified is, in particular, it's Article 4 under meetings, and it's subpart or paragraph C as in Charlie. Whereas the executive sessions of the radio board may be held only with prior City Council approval and in accordance with the requirements imposed by the Revised Code of Washington 42.30.110 and Revised Code of Washington 42.30.140. In reviewing those particular RCW references, and in trying to appreciate why the City Council needs to give us advance approval to hold an executive session, it's come to light that those sections of the Revised Code of Washington do not apply so to our board activities. Those particular sections are for, as near as we can tell, the two circumstances would be if we were dealing with employees, of which none of us and no one on the board nor at the radio station are actual employees of the City of Ocean Shores, or an elected position that is being filled by vote of the board rather than at some form of an open vote by the citizenry. Those don't apply to us. Therefore, I would like to have that entire paragraph C excised or removed from our Article 4 under meetings. And then the subsequent paragraphs would be modified to reflect the removal of paragraph C. So could I hear a motion to discuss this further, and then we can make this change? This directly impacts our ability to have a discussion about candidates and other matters before the board. So that's what that's about. Daryl or Roseanne, would you, I know I have supplied you separately with the my notes about this. So if you're in concurrence or would like to change something associated with that, I'd like to hear a motion to follow that. Oops, Daryl, you're muted still.
There, I'll go ahead and make the motion to adjust the bylaws for the radio station.
Okay, and let's see. So I'm at the stage where we'd like to have Rosanna, would you second that?
I second that.
Okay, would you have any further discussion or questions that I might be able to share on that?
No.
Okay, so we'll vote for acceptance of a motion brought by myself, the chair, to modify our existing bylaws by removing paragraph C as in Charlie under Article 4 meetings, to remove the requirements that we need advanced city council approval and that we have to meet in accordance with the requirements of RCW 42.30.110 and RCW 42.30.140. And the motion, if passes, will be sent to the city council under Article 9, amending the bylaws, paragraph B, where the Ocean Shore City Council must be presented with changes and approve all amendments. So we'd like to hold a vote. Oh, Sarah, please.
So Marty, I apologize for my confusion. You're approving the meeting agenda. So are you asking to add this to this meeting agenda?
Yes.
Under,
So the vote should follow later, or this is just a vote to add
this
it to
is
the.
to add it to the meeting agenda, and then you need to approve the meeting agenda. So you're asking to add amending your bylaws as new business. And
Okay.
that's that, and then approve
Okay.
the meeting agenda.
Okay, perfect. Under new business. Thank you. All right, Rosanna and Daryl, how are your votes leaning towards adding this to the agenda under new business then?
Aye.
That's fine to add it to the agenda.
Okay, and so all three of us are in concurrence with that. Thank you. So I believe now we can move on to our.
You need to approve the meeting agenda now.
Oh, okay. Now that it's amended. All right. I'd like to have a vote or a motion to approve the meeting agenda as modified.
I make a motion to approve the meeting agenda as modified.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have second, and we'll move forward then. And okay.
With a vote.
All right. And those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all three in favor. Thank you. So we've approved the meeting agenda as modified. Time for public communications. Are there any outside public comments before us, Sarah?
I didn't receive any written public comments. You have Don Williams. Do you have a public
Okay.
comment?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning. Just tuning in. Sarah, I think you should check that. I don't believe a special meeting you can add action that's not already on the agenda, but you can check. I don't want to cause any problems, but that's just my recollection. But
No,
other than
you're
that, everybody,
100%.
good morning.
Yeah. I have the same question. So if it doesn't, then we would put it on the next meeting agenda. Thank you, Don.
Okay.
Okay,
you.
thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you, Don.
And then Louis, do you have anything? Okay.
Okay, hearing no further public comments, we'll move on to our old business, which is our applicant's review for new board members. And we have Thomas with us now, Thomas Gardner, who unfortunately was unavailable to attend our previous meeting and present his answers to questions. I'll do my best to bring forth the same questions to you. Thomas, would you like to give us just a brief background comments on your interest in involvement here?
Hey, certainly. First of all, I'm delighted that you gave me this opportunity. And second, I would say that I believe my presence will contribute to the board as well as the radio station, which will in result contributor to the city of Ocean Shores, which is my ultimate goal, is to highlight the aspects of the city that are, I think, currently ignored. I would like to say as a board member, hey, my responsibility is to follow the caboose that follows the train, because I know nothing. So basically, I want to cooperate with who's there. I want to help evaluate any concerns as well as any new challenges. And I believe that my background in community radio and public radio, as well as in commercial radio, gives me an edge that allows me to understand what is necessary to complete, as I look at the stations now, the future goals or current trends that it's on right now. And I like to say also that I've only been in this community now for 7 months. So I don't know a lot of what's going on, and I'm depending on you to let me know when I say something stupid or when I step on someone's toe. Thank you for your time.
Sure, thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to attempt to recreate the same questions here that were posed to the other candidates that we were able to interview at the last meeting. So what is your previous experience in volunteering, particularly oriented towards radio?
I have no experience volunteering with radio. I have been paid for every radio station I've worked at. As it states in my my resume, Milwaukee Public Community Schools was my first paid position, where I introduced news and information to parents and students that were of interest to them, as well as announcing and highlighting board member decisions. My beginning was while I was a student at the university. My first time as a student at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, I got a job as a technician with the Country Western station, and that morphed into me playing country western music, because this job didn't show up one day, and unfortunately that was the beginning of my realizing that, boy, I've got a great voice. Also, so that pretty much answers your question. Then we're going on to commercial radio in Seattle and Portland, public radio, Oregon Public Broadcasting. So I would say half and half between public and commercial, but then that doesn't include my experience as a newspaper reporter, which was also, I was always paid for that. So I'm at the stage in my life now where I would like to volunteer what I've learned. So this will be my first attempt at volunteering at a radio station. And being someone who's always been paid to speak my opinion, I'm going to learn to shut up.
That's okay. That's quite good. Let's see, you kind of filled into the following question, which was your actual radio experience, and I think explained that quite nicely. And the next question really is kind of rolled together. It's, and I think you can expand on it maybe just a little bit more from what you've already said, but why do you want to be on our radio board? And it's an advisory board to the city of Ocean Shores, who is the licensee of the radio station. And are you able to commit to the monthly meetings and other activities that may come up along with board actions?
Yes, I certainly can commit myself to being a responsible member of the board. On air as well as off, in public as well as in private. Why Ocean Shores? Because my wife loved this house, and because and so it's my turn. And one of the things that I want to do, let's be honest about this. As you looked at my background, man, news, information, feature, so when I come here and I don't see that, I kind of like, holy Toledo, what's going on here? How can we not know what our neighbors are doing? How can we not be happy with what's going on with the school district, or with a 8-year-old getting her artwork on the refrigerator? How can we not know that a city council member has approved sidewalks that us old folks desperately need? How can we not know that the art show at the convention center doesn't highlight our own exceptional talent in this community? And that's why I'm here ultimately, but that I don't have a foundation to do that, as I mentioned before, because I just got here. But those are the things that should I say are of interest and concern. And I don't want to sound like I'm a savior or anything like that, but you know, we've all seen the black sheriff come into town without a sheriff, and I feel that that is what's going on here. This is a town without a sheriff because there's no news and information. And if I'm going to live here, if I'm going to be part of this community, then I've got to be a full member. And as we probably know, the word broadcast stem from farmers throwing out seeds, casting their seeds broadly across the field. That's what KOSW should be doing, planting seeds, broadcasting information that the farmer only has. And I think that with the help of the board and working with the board, we're going to be able to broadcast more seeds. We're going to be able to spread more information. We're going to be able to spread more community identity and respect for each other. It's unfortunate that I guess I've never been in a community where there were a dozen Facebook pages for people, you know, and as a result, nobody really knows what's true or what's real. And I have to hear about the artwork from another Facebook page. I should be able to go to my KOSW website and see news information and say, oh my God, there's an art show going on here. Oh my God, the artist next door does such beautiful work. And that's another thing that brings me. I think that if we expose ourselves more, we'll be able to support each other more. When I do a story about the mechanic and his new lift, it's highlighting local employer. I'm highlighting that local employer so that his neighbor can know that he can come get his car fixed there, because KOSW has did a story about the new lift, you know, which may not, unless you have a car, or you know, that's important to some of us. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on.
No, it's all good information, and appreciate your perspective, and glad that you're available to share it with us today. Thank you. Do any of the board members have any additional questions? I think we were going to stick to the primary ones that we had on the list, and I believe we've executed those adequately. So the next bullet point, it calls for board action. However, again, absent the modification of our bylaws, we are not able to enter into a special session or an executive session to allow us to have an offline conference among the board members to discuss our intentions in voting. So Sarah, could you help me with this next point on but our next board action then just simply be to close out this meeting and at our next regular meeting, execute the bylaw adjustments that we are requesting, and then that'll put our actual vote out until another month out, unless we have another special meeting, which would be just simply to seat new board members.
Well, you still have to make your recommendation to the mayor, and then the mayor still needs to take that to council for consensus. So I guess my current confusion is if you weigh the pros and cons as the chair, you would make that recommendation to the mayor. And then the mayor would take that to city council for consensus. So I'm confused by the need. You would never be able to have a meeting that isn't public. You would never have a pertinent RCW that you could even enter into executive session, which I understand is the change that you're referencing, but realistically, the need is the recommendation to the mayor from the chair to
That's how I
appoint
understand it. Yeah.
with council's consensus at the next meeting. So what I need from you is a recommendation to the mayor of who you would like to appoint for that vacant position.
Okay, and again, not to belabor it too much, but the mechanism that would allow Daryl and Rosanna and myself to have a concurrent session of our own so that we can discuss the applicants. We're not afforded that luxury or opportunity under our current bylaws. So
no, you would then have to take this to the next meeting, review your bylaws, change your bylaws. Those bylaws then have to go to council for approval for the changes that were made. Then whenever your subsequent meeting after that, that's when you would be able to appoint or recommend or discuss.
Right.
So
okay. I know, unfortunately, this pushes the whole process out. Let's see. So the next city council meeting where I would do the presentation. Oh, no, actually, yeah, do the presentation for the amendments.
wouldn't be until March.
It couldn't be at the end of February meeting?
No, because given the calendar, the radio board, well, I guess you guys meet earlier than the last council meeting this month.
I don't know why if you're so worried about voting or discussing it in front of us, I don't know why you don't just ask us to log off. It might be a lot easier than amending your bylaws just so you can have a vote and a discussion. That's kind of, I've never seen an organization do that before.
Right. And we would never, Dave, I totally understand your intention, but we could never ask the public to log off for them to discuss. It's very simple as Daryl saying, these are the pros and cons of these people, and Rosanna saying these are the pros and cons, and you basing a recommendation off of that to the mayor. There's not really.
Okay.
I feel like this is being made harder than it needs to be.
Okay, I know it's an abundance of caution on my part because
Yeah.
I feel a little uncertain about the stability of the groundwork we're standing on right now. But if that's acceptable, Rosanna and Daryl, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, in fact, I'm comfortable with you just making some recommendations and then taking that to the city council.
Which is normally what the chair does.
Yeah, especially because I don't want to wait till March. Let's get this thing rolling along.
Okay, well, I agree. Okay.
It's going to be a tough decision because I think we've got it's unusual that we've got people wanting to volunteer for this group. And I think it's wonderful that people are stepping forward. I think you've got 3 highly qualified people. So I'm comfortable whichever way you go. Over.
Rosanna, do you share that
Yes, I do.
perspective?
Same as Daryl, yes.
Okay. So Sarah, am I within my realm of authority do I need to announce my recommendation at this time, or
No.
just to
you would
the
send-
mayor and city
Yep,
council?
you would send just to the mayor, and the mayor will take that to city council on the next meeting agenda for council's consensus.
If you're more comfortable, if I log out, I can do that. I mean, that works for me.
No, no,
Okay.
no,
Me
that's,
too, I got no problem with it.
I appreciate that, but that's not the process. The only thing, okay. All right, well, then we'll take that and I will consider the factors that are presented by each of the individuals, and we'll present that to the mayor and or city council as appropriate directly.
And just for clarification's sake, we will not be talking about the new business item you attempted to amend. That wasn't something that was on the special meeting notice, and that is a
Okay.
requirement. That was the fear. And thank you again, Don, for also saying the same. So.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, excellent. Well, we'll just pull that one aside for a future meeting reference then. Okay. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is February 22nd at 10:30 a.m. Our intention is to have that meeting, and I believe the next city council meeting is coming up Monday, correct? Yeah, so, oh, it's not?
The 14th. The 14th.
Oh, 14. Oh, excellent, excellent. It's wonderful to have a little bit of breathing space then. Okay, that's right, second Monday. Perfect. Okay. Well, with that, I hear a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting today.
Okay, second.
I will second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you all for attending. We will adjourn this meeting and we'll share the information